Welcome everyone. Sorry for just being a few seconds late, or a minute late. Getting so many calls left and right. Stop this one. Start the, I am in a meeting. Okay, welcome everyone. I noticed that some of you already watching the presentation. There are 11 already who knows the link and they already connected. It's very good, which makes me happy. That means you started to know how we run these sessions. Okay, let me share screen, minimize this one. I hope you can hear me clearly. But let me try to use this. And make sure I am using the right audio. Yes. Very good. So how you join this link, how you can come to this screen, you already know, but I will put it on the screen. The address is similar to last time. The only difference is number 3. For the new people who come in for the first time, you have the option to scan this one from your phone or use this address. We will use this one to receive your questions. We will use it also to have some activities and participation from you. We'll wait for a few more minutes until all the numbers are in. We'll wait a little. Today we have a busy schedule. We will be doing so many great stuff. So let's be fresh, be ready, be willing to participate and explore the things that we're going to discuss today. Okay, so I think we should start or wait one more minute, just one more minute. Now, you know how to ask me the questions. You can use the QA in Zoom, but I would prefer you don't use the QA in Zoom. Use the QA in your phone through this page. Again, for the new people who are coming for the first time, I don't think that many people will be coming for the first time today, but few of you maybe. This is the link to join. You scan this one, then you will be there. And in the phone, you will find somewhere you can ask a question. Look at it, how to look like from your. Usually, I don't look at it from that angle. But let me have my phone also there. Yeah, very good. So you have ask a question, that button on the phone, you click on it and you ask the questions. So I can see there are 4 questions already here. When do we use the business case to plug information? That later when we come into pandas and we get into the data analytics and data science later. We're still doing the fundamentals that prepare us to do that. And hopefully soon we'll do that from tomorrow. How will Python used in biology? In research, you can use Python. Python is strong on image processing, on so many areas. And I'm sure there are libraries. If you search for Python library for biology, you will find a lot of things there. So it can be used in biology, but you need to explore it yourself. That's not my area, but it will help you analyze this different type of biological things. And that's where you can use it. But if you look for a library now, if you say Python library for or package, yeah, use library or package for biology, something like that, yeah. So you get there is something called Python. This one, it has lots of things, but you need to explore it. You know the area better than me. So you can find, there are so many, maybe this bio package. It's a complete package that can analyze lots of things or do lots of things for you. I don't know what it is. Biology is a little bit too far from where I am, but this is where you usually just search for any package. You will find a lot of things about it. So you'll find this one, for example, it does so many things. And then you explore it because you are the subject matter expert. You will be able to see how it can be done. I'm sure you'll find lots of also publications related to using Python in biology. Image processing and things like that. It's again strong at that one, and that may be something you can look at it. This from Harvard, an open source bioinformation library for Python. So this is something you can use. The beauty of these things is easy to get access to, easy to install and start using. See, this is an abstract. This is a research paper by someone, and it's more than, yeah, you can look at that one. So there are lots of things that you can find in your area. Okay, so I think I did answer. How can we enter ADU community portal? You just need to register. You go there and say community.adu.ac.ie. Once you get there, you need to register. Maybe you don't need to see me all the time. That gives you more space. Now, if you come here, you can register. And for me, I'm already logged in. If you click here, you will find, when you come in, you will find login. You click on login, then for sure you cannot log in if you don't have an account. So you create an account, and then you'll get it by email, and then you continue. You will find the course here. So what I did last night, I uploaded the video. This is the first video recording of the first session. This is the recording of the second session. I also linked the PowerPoint presentation we went through with your inputs and questions and everything there. So I'm going to link this one today, inshallah, when we finish. So this is where you can do. Okay, so we started by good questions. Good afternoon. Are the lab activities within the modules are included? Labs are not included, but they will help you to be able to answer the questions, will help you to understand how it works. And if you share it or submit it to the community, then you'll have a record of that you have done and completed the labs. Good afternoon. I wasn't able to submit any notebook. You don't need to submit it. You need to complete it. That's the most important thing. If you complete it and then you do the questions, the certificate, you'll get it on two things, as explained before. Completing all the review questions, you will get 50% of your score. Doing the final exam, you get 50% of the score. How is Python beneficial in accounting? Oh, there are huge things in accounting because it's strong in analytics, and analytics accounting, they come closer in terms of playing with numbers. And so you look at it and you'll find, search for accounting packages, you will find some accounting packages there that you can use Python for. How are you today? Excellent. Thank you very much, Seren. what is the command that I have to put in black screen after I installed Python on PC. It depends on what Python you install. If you install the Python itself, the command is Python. If you install Python version 3, command is Python version 3. If you install Juniper, there's another command, which Juniper, there's so many things there. And if you install a text editor or coding interactive development environment like Microsoft Visual Studio Code, then you will find a button there. You click on it, it will run the code. But you need to name your file .py. But as I said, you don't need to install anything. If you follow me and you go through the IBM platform, which we will go to now, then you will not need to install in your computer. You can run it from here. And this is what we spoke about it multiple times last time. You need to come here, create an account, activate your account, log in, and then come to the courses. If you don't want to know how to do it, go to the first recording. And then you click here, you will get into the course. You need to go into the course. And now we are in the course. We finished this one, we finished this one. Today we're doing Python programming fundamentals, and there are many things there. So today will be a busy day, but we will make our progress. So if you look at today, we will be covering conditions, and branching. We'll cover the loops, we'll cover functions, and we will do object and classes, object-oriented and classes. It's a lot, but we will do it. You will find it fun. I know many of you here coming here, they have programming background, and some of you don't have programming background. So I'm trying to balance between being slow, being fast, and see how things will go. I hope so far you are satisfied with what we are doing. So if you click here, you go into the lab, and the lab will take some time to load. You need to verify that you are a human. Sometimes they bring you this parking meter. This is a parking meter. This is maybe, I'm not sure if this is the one, but anyway, I do. No, it was tractor. This is one. Sometimes they make it difficult for me because I can't see it clearly. Anyway, I think these are the tracks. Oh my God. Traffic light. This should not be a traffic light, but anyway, it's accepted me. So sometimes it needs to verify that you are human, you are not a robot who making the server busy by sending some code and making it work for nothing. This will take some time to load, and then you get that. While it's loading, I can see some Q&A here as well. Good afternoon. Are the labs included? No, they're not included in the overall grade. How can I answer the questions during the session? That's a good question. I'll show you how to do it again because we've been doing this for some time. You need to get your phone and scan this code, QR code, or write this address on your phone browser. Then it will open for you and you can answer the questions. Next time, you should know the number will be 4. So I don't need to tell you. The same address, but this will be 4. Yesterday, it was 2, before it was 1. So every day we increment only this number by 1, so you can see what's happening there. Now, are we supposed to submit? I answered. The challenge, people keep asking the same question because they come a little bit late and we already answered. That's fine. But sometimes I will skip it because I know it will come again later. I will answer it later. What is the best Python library in finance? I don't know, but you need to look at it. If you search Python library in finance, you will find many of them. You will find some review from other people telling you if this is the good library or not good library. You can find out what are the methods in that function. You'll find a document explaining it. It's well documented. It is well documented, means the community are very active. Is there any way to know if I missed a lab? Yes, you will know because the structure of the course will tell you where is it that. Will we be able to access the course even after? Yes, you will be able to access it forever. Hopefully, inshallah. How can we apply Python in deep learning? Oh, Python is very strong in machine learning and deep learning. And there are packages and libraries for that one. We cannot do it in this course. This is a subject of more advanced. Hopefully later we will be doing this thing. But yes, you can do in deep learning and machine learning and many areas. This is my first session. I couldn't join the first two. That's fine. If I join wrong time, we'll be able to follow. Yeah, I think you can. If you join today, you will be able to follow. Few things maybe will looks like Chinese to you, but the rest will be fine. Please send the community courses again on chat. Okay. Good. So this is the link which have all the courses. Let me copy this one. Go to the chat. Again, go to our community portal as well, which you will find all the information there. And if you register there, you will keep getting update. When I upload a video, you get a message. When I announce something, you get a message. So make sure you join our community portal, yeah? And here you will find all the information, which take you again to the IPM page. Okay, I think if I continue reading these questions, we will not end. Notice I added the lesson model present. Okay, very good. The sound seems to be off. Is the sound off? No, sound not off. People hearing me clearly. If someone cannot hear me, please let me know. Then I will adjust. I think it should be fine. I'm looking at my setting is perfect. I don't think the sound is off. Maybe from your side, you need to do something on your phone. Okay, so let's start now. We have a good number now. We're reaching more than 200 there. So let's go to the first. I have this question for you. How many of you have completed module 2? Last time we noticed really a good number completed module 1, which is very good. Now, if you listen, you pay attention, you participate, you'll find at the end of this one, module 3 is very easy. And you can complete it maybe on the same day or after 1 day from that. But if you don't listen, it will take you time to go through it yourself. So please pay attention, participate, and do what needs to be done. Now, I need you to follow me with the code. So the best way is you have 2 machines. That will be ideal. We can have one you put Zoom on it and you watch me, the other one you program. You don't have 2 machines. 2 machines mean you have an iPad and you have a computer, or your phone and a computer, or whatever. Or if you don't have one screen, you just need to double click on the middle of the page. Then you will have the option to resize it. So you can put half of it for the video that you're watching me, and other half you open a browser and you log in and practice. That will be good as well. So you can see a good number of people who completed. Good progress is again good. The only what is have those who didn't start, please start. Yeah, you start, you'll finish it. If you don't start, you'll not finish it, basically. And I think it's very simple if you go and finish it. Now today one is maybe for the new to programming. It's a lot of things we'll be covering, but we'll make it clear and we will practice it hopefully, and then you will be able to do it. Those who know programming, they will find it very simple, just only converting from the language they know, if they know C or they know Java or they know other languages, how this will be presented in Python with some special things in Python. Okay, so this one is increasing now slowly. That's good. Okay, So what are we doing today? We're doing the fundamentals of Python programming. If I come here again, we are on module 3, and these are module 3. We'll do something called condition and branching. We'll look at the labs related to that one. We'll do the loops. There are 2 types of loops which we'll be covering, one called for loop and one called while loop. Then we'll look at the functions. It's a way to organize your code in small blocks that you can use and reuse when you need to use. So you don't need to write it every time you want to use it. And those who in programming, they'll find it very simple thing. We will do object and classes quickly, which I know people who are coming from programming, they will maybe think it's a lot of things to cover, which I agree. And the last thing is exceptional handling, if we have time. Otherwise, we will do maybe object-oriented and exceptional handling tomorrow, so we can focus more on this thing. We'll see how the things will go with us. And we will be revisiting things and practicing it more and more, inshallah. Good, so thank you. 71, around 100 who completed out of, I think we have 250 people who regularly come to the session. It goes up to some days we had 350, then up and down. Now we get into the conditions. What are really the conditions? Again, programming is built around those important things, is how to make the computer decide what to do in certain situations. And for sure, you need to use a condition to apply. If the condition is true, you do certain things. If the result of that condition is false, you do something else. So if I say now, the person that his name Ahmed, raise your hand. How many Ahmed you have? So if you are Ahmed, you will raise your hand. If you're not Ahmed, you will not raise your hand. Yeah, and that's a condition. Okay. If I say the person, his name Ahmed, and his age more than 80, I'm just making it from my mind. How many people will be in that condition? Will be smaller number, because I added 2 conditions with something called and. So I need the 2 conditions to be met. Okay, but if I say the person, his name is Ahmed and his age more than 30, okay, then I'll get little bit more people meeting that requirement. But if I change my condition, instead of saying and, I say or. If your name is Ahmed or your age more than 30, oh, I'll have so many people, because all people who more than 30, they will raise their hands. And all people with the name Ahmed, they will raise their hands. So I have more people. You notice now, when you use and, you limit your options. When you use or, you give flexibility. You meet one of the conditions. If you made this one or made that one, then you get more results. Now in Python programming, you usually have 2 objects that you want to compare it. And when we compare things, we have either equal or not equal, or more than, or less than, or more than and equal, or less than and equal. So this one is equal. Equal, you cannot use one equal, and I'll explain why. Let me go to the coding now. Let me get into the coding. So how I get into the coding, I back to the course. You can go to anywhere in the course. Now I am in the course here. I'll show you, I can go anywhere I like. I click in anything. Today we are here, but let me click here. And I go to the first video there, which talking about condition and branching. You can watch the video, we'll play it later, but we're going to do it also. Then you will find in the middle here, start the lab. And then it will take you to the lab. I already started the lab. And as I said in the previous session, I would like to create my own page. So I click on this one. It will open for me. I'll go to Python. See, IBM and their platform, they have so many other languages that support their work. So we will maybe, hopefully in the future, we'll get R is similar to Python in terms strong in data analytics. Swift is the one invented by Apple and others. So we'll go to Python. I'll click there. Now it will open for me a new page. So let's look at this one. If I say 5, okay, say A equal 5 and B equal 6. Okay. Now, how I run it, I click here, or I press shift with one finger, keep it on that shift, and with the other finger, I press enter. Yeah, so that will run the code for me. So shift and enter, or the other way, I select the cell and click enter. Now, what the program did, created two variables, one called A, one called B, and stored the data in these two numbers. If I say A equal B, okay, what happened? Now, it now converted the value of A to be similar to B. So if I say print A, comma B, now it will give me both numbers are the same because I used one equal. Yeah, I said A equal B. So I force A to take the value of B and store it in A. So value of A change. But if I do here, run this one again, come here and run it, and come and put two equals, not one equal, and run this cell, you will see now I'm getting false. What does it mean false? It means this. Sorry, I have those noises coming from Microsoft Teams. Let me close it. Okay, what does it mean false here? It means basically A is not equal to B. This is a condition. This is a condition when you have two equal. So it's saying here basically, is A equal to B? The answer is false because A is 5 and B is 6. But if I make both of them 6 and come here and say run, I'll get true. Notice the true with T uppercase and false with the F uppercase. So this is a condition, yeah? If I say A more than B, this is a condition. Is A more than a B? No. What's missing is just to add F to it. We'll come to the F statement. But if I say more than or equal, what will be the answer? Well, the answer will be true. Why? Because it met one of the condition here. If A is more than or equal B, A and B are equal, so that condition is met, so the answer is true. And the same thing, you can have less than, yeah, or equal. Again, you'll get true because there is the equal always there. The other thing you have is not equal. Not equal will give you, in this case, false, because A and B are equal. Are they not equal? No, false. It is equal. Yeah, so A not equal B, the answer is false. But if I make them different, I make this one 5 and run this cell, then I come back here and do this. Now it's true. So the conditions are done this way. Yeah, this is for equal. This is for not equal. This is for less than. This is for greater than, less than or equal. This one for more than equal. And this one for more than and equal. Okay, I see some questions. I'll come to them. Let me just get into showing you some more. Now let's do something more than just these things we're doing here. Yeah, let's do something more fun. Now let me have a condition, proper condition. Condition start by F. If A is more than B. Now this is a condition. Then do what? I need a colon here. Remember, this colon is not semicolon or anything. It has to be colon. And now here, I can say print A, which is between quotation, A is more than B. Okay? Now, if I run this one, what I'll get? A is more than B. Why? Because A6 is more than B5. This is right. But if I have them equal, I'll get nothing if I run this code because there's nothing for that. What I can do, I can add something called else. Else. Yeah. If that condition is not met, try something else. Yeah. Which else? I put colon as well, and I'll print here A is not more than B. Now, if I run this one, I'll get the second message. Yeah, because A is not more than B, it's equal to B. Yeah. So see the condition, how you put it. You have if statement, you have your condition, you have a colon, and then you have a set of things you do after that. But this should need to be indented to the right. If it's this way, it's wrong. This doesn't mean it's part of F. To be part of F, you need to push it to the right a little bit. And you can have more than one thing here. Print A more than B and print the first condition is met. So, okay. And here we can add another thing, print the second condition is met. Yeah. Now when I run it, it will display two things. The two things are coming from here. Now we're missing something here, which the situation when A and B are equal. So how I can address that? I can come here and have something called else if. This is another one. So if you have a condition and that condition is not met, think of another condition that maybe need to be met to do something else. In this case, is A equal B? This is another condition. And I can here print A is equal to B, yeah? And then what I can say, I don't know what I can say, print, and let me do something like this. Now, when I run this one, let's see what will happen. I'm getting A is equal to B, giving me this section. Because A is 6, B is 6, this condition is not met, then it will check the second condition. And the second condition is met, it does that one, and then ignore the remaining. But now if I make A less than B, this one here, see now 5 and 6. I will come to the hands, sorry for that. Let me just get this one clear. Now, if A more than B, is this condition met now? A is 5, B is 6 is not met. So this one is ignored. Now it will come here. Is A equal to B? No, A is not equal to B, 5 is not equal to 6. Then it will go to the last option. So in this case, when I run this one, I'll get the right result. Now, some of you maybe get confused. Tell you what? Maybe you come here and change this one to 6, yeah? But you do not run this cell. You just come back here and run this one. It will still think of A as 5 because you need to run this cell first. And then you run this cell. So don't get confused like that, yeah? The easiest way, take these two and put them inside this one here. So they are all in one place. So if you change this one to 5, it will automatically understand this became 5 or make it 50. It became like that. Okay, this is good. Now we did this way, but I want to show you something else. Instead of saying A more than B, let's display the value of A. I can put A outside the quotation and put comma. Yeah, and here when I come to the B, I put the B outside A and put B. Okay, let me do all those changes while you watch this. If you are not following, I'll come back to you. I will stop and get some questions and answers because this is important that you know it, and then we'll have some practice of it as well. Yeah, let me do this. Good. Now, if I run, you see here how things coming. No, here I'll get something better. I'll get 6 is not more than 50. Okay. Now, if I change this one to make both of them 50 and run this, I will get 50 is equal to 50. Yes, it's obvious, 50 equal to 50. Why? Because now this variable A is also added to the print. And variable B is added to the print. But please remember, you don't put them inside the quotation. You put them outside the quotation, and you have a comma. And you don't put them before the bracket. Okay. Now I can see some hand raised, which I will come to it now. But make sure if you raise your hand, you really wanted to talk. Yeah. Good. First one is Ahmed. Ahmed, unmute your microphone and speak. Then I'll hear you. Okay. There is an unmute button down. You need all to be familiar with. Okay, Ahmed seems by mistake or you have an issue with your microphone. Anket.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, thank you very much for your classes. I just had a quick question on the review questions.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, can you go to the course tab in your?
Yeah. And
Yes.
here, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So we have some review questions which are here within each section. And then
Correct.
there are review questions at the end of the module also. Module 1,
Yes.
and then there are review questions there. So for us to successfully complete this course, we need to finish all the review questions. It's including all these questions also?
Yes, including those questions inside the video. Yeah. You need to do this question. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as you rightly said, I think as you rightly said, there are review questions at the end of the module. You need to do them. And there are review questions inside each one. You need to do them as well. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. That answers my question.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thanks. Okay. Then Faris. Faris, you need to unmute your microphone if you have a question. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, I'll proceed. Okay. I thank you. Some of you are having difficulties with that. I will lower your hand if you don't want to talk, then you can raise it again. Muhammad Mansour.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor, for your classes. Now, I have a question here in the declaration of the data types for A and B, for example, in our examples, which were in the lab. How we declare data types?
Yeah, this is a good question. In Python, is not like Java or C. You don't need to declare the data type. There's no declaration of data type. And you can change the data type of the variable anytime. So you can put, for example, 50, yeah? After some time, I can make it a string. So I can come here and say A equal Hamad, yeah? Python will have no problem with it. It's not like C, Java, and other languages where you need to initialize and declare the data type before using it. It is flexible with the data type. Did I answer your question? Yeah.
What about exactly in case of we need, for example, for decimals, we need, let's say, more than 4, 5, 6 digits of decimals?
Yeah, you can use float, and then you have a way to round it. by how many digits. There is another function called round,
Mm.
which you can use it to decide how many decimal point you need to have from the float.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
So another question. Sorry.
Yeah.
In the list of modules, exactly in the community, you added some items, I think there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I
that?
added the video recording, and I added this one at the end.
Yeah,
Presentation.
and also there is another one, presentation with the participant. What is it exactly? Presentation with the participant.
This is the same one we run here. So this one we're running here on our AHA slide, where you can contribute and answer the questions. The same presentation will be available on that link.
Okay, clear. Thank you.
Yeah, good, excellent. Good. Okay, so I think we are done with answering the questions. Let's continue now. I think we have, let's move here. Now get ready now, we need to participate. You will get some questions coming on the screen. So if you did not join here, join please, because I can see you have large number there, but we have only 126, 27. So get your phone ready and be ready to participate. Yeah. Then I will go to the next one. So these review questions I put here on the AHA slide or onto our presentation, try to help you understand those things. Okay, so let's get back here. This is an example again. We had an example of A equal 33 and B equal 200. If we try say if B is more than A, please ignore this one. This is from the AHA slide, yeah? It's not related to this, to allow me to go to the previous slide and come to the next slide. It's not part of the code. So if B is more than A, then print this value. So this is our example. We looked at it in the code. Here is another example to have, yeah? Now I have a questions for you coming soon. This is another example, which already did similar thing. If B is more than A, you'll get something. If B is equal A, you get something. Otherwise, if none of the above is true, then you go into another one, yeah? So let's see that one before we jump. Yeah, now get ready. Get your phone, put your name, and then get ready to participate in answering these questions. Again, those questions are written in a way to help you understand how this concept work. To give example of if statement, you think about it, you answer it, then you can see if your answer is wrong or right. Then we talk about it, saying why it should be this one, not should be that one, and so on. While you do that, I need to check, I have something happening, which I... Okay, we have 173 out of 230 today. So let's see what should I start? Get ready. 1, 2, 3. You can join if you are behind. 142 and okay. Okay, good. This is the first question coming to you now, and get ready to answer it. So you have this code, look at your phone, yeah? You have this code. What will be the output of this code? This is easy one, yeah? Why I created this easy one? Yeah, maybe to motivate you at the beginning. Joking. Okay, 7 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the answer came A is equal to B. Yes, because the code really shows that A equal to B. Good. One thing is, okay. So now look at the second one. Who is now taking the lead? Farhana taking the lead, everyone taking the lead because you all have the same score here. And then we have little down here score. But the good thing is really we had, oh, okay, sorry, I already did that. Okay, you see the result. Good number gave the right answer because it was easy question. Okay, okay. Let's move now to question number 2. This will get a little bit complicated. Now, here you have a list. Look at it. I will go and explain this one after you are done with it, if you don't get the right answers. If you came yesterday, you will answer this question quickly. Otherwise, maybe you will find it a little bit difficult. But I'm sure I will be proud of you because you will give right answer. Many of you will give right answers. Oh, very good. 270 is the right answers, and we had 104 compared to 26 and compared to 15. Let me explain this one. Now, if you have a list, we'll call it L, for example, this time, yeah? And we have these numbers in it. Any numbers, yeah? Yeah. We know that if you want to get the value of any of this element, then we can say L equals 0, or L square bracket 0. This will give us the first element. If you put 1, it will give us the second element, and so on, okay? So we can use this in a condition. So if, yeah, I usually use bracket. You don't need bracket, yeah? If you use it, it's a good habit to do that. But if I say L2, for example, here, more than 80, colon, this colon important, then is really here L2 more than 80? What is L2? This is 0, this is 1, this is L2. So 66 is not more than 80, yeah? So let's do that. Now I can say print, yeah, L between bracket 2 multiply 10 to make it easy. Okay, else, see the else, I need to move it back, yeah? When I press enter here, it will put else here. Wrong, L need to go here, else. So else, colon, okay? Print L2 multiply, I know large number answer this one, which is really good. But again, I need to explain it to those who did not understand it. So when you run it, you will get here 300, yeah? 300, why? Because 66, which L2 is not more than 80, so it will do this calculation. So 66, which L2 multiply 5, give me 330. So you still use any of this list or set or whatever data type we have. Okay, get ready now. Don't make your phone go to sleep. Here is the result. Radufan is going really up, 4 points leading in this, which very good. Now we'll not have a question now. We'll talk about AND. Now the AND operator is adding two conditions together. Can be 2, 3, 4, any number. In this case, we're having two conditions. We're saying if A is more than B and C more than A. Remember my example of Ahmed and the age? Yeah. When you have AND, you make the options smaller, and more AND make it tough because you're adding the condition to each other's. And here, if A is more than B and C more than A, then in this case you get true. Here is an example, and we will do some other examples. So if A is 200 and B 33 and C 500. Now let's play with this condition. If A is more than B, is A more than B? A is 200 and B 300. Yes, the answer is yes. This is not enough because you have AND, we need to meet the other condition. Is C more than A? C is more than A. If C is 500, then the answer. And that's get you the right answer. Now, sometimes you have a more complicated. This is the OR. The OR is similar, but in terms to give you more options. Only one condition needs to be met. So if A more than B or A more than C, then you'll get true. Yeah. In this case, we'll have this 233, 500. If A is more than B or A more than C. In this case, A is more than B. No, A is not more than B. 200 is not more than this. But we have OR. So we have another chance to look at the second condition, which A is more than C. And A is not more than C. So we brought a complicated one. Yeah. So then we'll go to the else in that situation. But you can see the OR. If you don't meet the first condition, you have a chance to check the second condition. And if both are not meeting, then you have no option except to go to the else or else F, if you have else F. Okay, so let's not do this. Be forced to go into it. Okay. Now get your phone and answer this one, then I'll go to the labs. Now we have this one. You can see it better on your phone. Okay. I gave you more time for this one. It requires a little bit more calculation. Happy to see some people taking time to think about it before giving the answers, but you have to do that within the allowed time. Okay, let's see the hands that are on. Only one hand. I think you are playing with these hands. You just want to know if it works or it doesn't work. Ahmed, Zubair, do you want really to talk, Ahmed? No, you keep changing that hand up and down. Okay, what's the result? Oh, very good. Means I have to go too fast because you're really getting it. 494 managed to get it, but I know that many people who did not even participate. They will ask me, what is the code? And how to join? This is the code to join. Yeah, you scan this or take this URL if you don't know how to join. Okay, good. I think that's good. I don't want to jump to the next one because I'll get a question maybe. I did so many of these questions. What I was thinking to do, yeah, to practice the and or, I think you know it already, but there's one thing I want to show you, maybe you don't know. So A, 40, and B is 60, and name is, let's put a new one, Ahmad Ibrahim David Kumar, all of us, yeah. So these are here, these are some data I have there. Now, if I have multiple conditions that mixing between and or, I will show you what I mean. If I say if A is more than B, yeah, or name one equal Ibrahim, and B equal or B less than 80. See these conditions which I created? It looks a little bit complicated, but they're not complicated. Why? Because here's a condition on its own, if A more than B. If A more than B, it will ignore everything else. Yeah, because it's okay. The condition is met, one condition met. Assume A is not more than B. In this case, is A not more than B. It will now check these conditions, which there are two conditions. One condition is name one Ibrahim, yes. And B is less than 80, B which 60 less than 80. So this condition now met. So then it will go and do whatever I ask it to do. Yeah, it can print anything else. So you can combine and or and all this by sometimes grouping them together based on the condition. This is a really logical thing you need to do. So it depends on the logic that you're working with. Maybe your company, the situation has a certain parameters. So based on that, you start looking at these things. Yeah. Okay, back to here. Oh, who is leading? Radofan is leading. Yeah, you know, this is sometimes you feel happy, but later in the last minute you lose. Don't lose the momentum, Radofan. Now here is another one. Look at your phone, because there you will see it maybe better than what you see it here. Do the calculation, select the right answers, and go for it. Okay, so we're getting there and we have the answer. Oh, this is a great team and who are watching and following me. You're doing excellent. So you know this, so that's it. Okay, and Radofan is still in the lead, but there's some changes down. Now we'll go to the loops. We have two types of loops, for loop and while loop. The for loop is basically use a list or set or tuple or dictionary to go through that list and make a loop. You know, in the other languages, you have a counter that you use, similar, but it uses here a list, which that. So that's how it works. We will look at some examples. Here is a list. So I have a list of fruits. I have apple, banana, cherry there. These are the three things. Then I can have a for loop for x in fruits. Here x, first time it will be apple. In the second loop, it will be banana, and then it will. So if I do this one, I will get each one of those lists printed on the screen. Yeah. Now here is another one. I can use numbers. If I want to use numbers like in the other languages, I can say for x or I or whatever you want to call it. You can call it any variable. And range 6. Range 6 means 0 until 5. Doesn't include 6. Yeah. So if you do this one, you will get the value of x. Now, quick practice on that one. We can do a quick practice on it. This one we don't need. So let's look at this range for x in range of 5 and colon. Remember, this colon is important. Then I can say print x. Now I will get x from 0 to 5. I can say print x multiply 5. I will get now 0, 5, 10, because every time it takes x and do it. You notice it's coming from 0, yeah, to 5. Let me not confuse you, keep this one. So it's 0 to 4, it doesn't include 5. Now, if I wanted to start from 1, I say 1 to 5 inside. Now, if I do this, now it is from 1 to 4, because I decided where I wanted to start. I wanted to start from 3. Now it will print only 3 and 4. I can have this one to be 10. So from 3 to 10, yeah. Now, if I want to skip one of it, let's make it back from 1 to 10 and add here 2. What do you think you will see? It's skipping 1. So doing 1, then going to 3. Skipping 4, I'm going to 5. Skipping 5. Those who are in programming, this is the same. Same thing. Now, if you have a list of numbers, say, for example, marks, I like the marks, yeah, equal, because I can come with some strange marks here, 70.8, that's, are we that precise? Okay, 55, okay. So these are the marks. I can have 4M, anything I call it, N marks. And then I say print M. Now it will print from M. If I want to create the total, I can add here called sum equals 0, for example. And I can come here and say sum equal sum plus M. So this line, what it does, it just add every M to 0 and then to the new value, and it continues. This is usually how you calculate. Those who are new into programming, this is one of the way to calculate the total. You can have the plus here and remove some still, but this way for new beginners will be fine. In this case, I can print, let's do this, print M And if I want to print the sum, I need to go back to the same level at 4. So outside the for loop. Now I am outside the for loop and say print sum. Now, if I run this code, what you will notice, that I have sum is 0. I have m changing from this value to that value. Every time in the loop, I take the m and add it to the previous sum. At the beginning, sum is 0, so m will be 76. When the loop continue, sum will be 76. Then we'll add to it 99.8, and then continue like that. Yeah. And you can have, maybe if you want to make it look a little bit better, maybe you can have here just a few dashes here. So you will see this is the numbers and this is the sums coming down. And then if you want to calculate the average, so you say average AVG equals sum divided by what? By what? By len of marks. Len of marks will give me how many items are in marks. Yeah. And then the average will be that. Then I can print the average. Just let's do it as this and then that. So now I did calculate the total of the numbers and then did the average. In fact, we don't need to do the whole thing we did here because the list has functions that help you do that. As you remember, we have the len, we have also the sum. If I do without anything, I do sum marks, I will get the total of that. Oh, something went wrong with this. Okay, leave it. I think there's something wrong with this version I'm using, but that's the way to do it. So we still have this one. So that's one. Now, let me show you something which will be useful, which is related to the next one called functions. The whole thing here I can put it in one function. So in the future, I can use it. And let me go to that. So this one, this part, I can take it and add it inside the function. So how I can do that? Function is a block of code that you create once and you call it as much as you want. Yeah. So how I can create a function? I say def, let me call it here calc sum. Yeah. Calc sum. This is the function I want to do. Yeah. And passing to it m. Yeah. Or passing to it marks. Yeah. Call it marks. And then I put a colon. What I need to do, I need to push all this inside like this. Now I have a function with the name sum, calculate sum, and I'm passing to it marks. Now what it will do, it take the marks and do its own calculation and then get me the results. So let me take this one outside from here. So this is the function. Now if I run it, I'll get nothing. Why? Because the function will be created, will be put in the computer memory, and it will be ready for me to use it. They call it function. Like in your work, you have a department doing certain process. They define the process, they keep it. When someone wanted to use that process, they will execute it. Yeah, same thing. So we created a function called calculate sum, which takes some data called marks, create a variable called sum, do some looping in that data, and then display the sum, leave the average outside. I don't need the average now. How I can use it? So now I have something called price. Yeah, price, and I have the price something there where I should have done some data, any data, but regardless of this data. So I have price here. What I can do, I can call sum. How I can call that function? I just take the name of that function and the whole thing I can, but let me take just the name. Yeah. So this function call sum. What I need to pass to it, I need to pass to it the data that I need to calculate its total. And in this case, it's price. Yeah, see, I pass to it price. Leave this one. I call it marks here. I call it anything. I call it there. Doesn't make difference. This one is just a variable here. Yeah, I can call it, for example, X. To just get it clear for you. Yeah, and run that one. Here I have a function that I created. It's in the computer memory. I have a set of data, regardless of the length of that data. Yeah, this data, I can send it to that function using its name and pass to it that data. Once I do that, it will go and calculate for me the sum and display it on the screen. So this is what we call functions. Yeah, this is what we call functions. And functions work well when you have a piece of code that you use a lot. Now here I use price. Yeah, now I came here, I have another thing. I have marks of students and I need to calculate the sum of it. Yeah, assuming who calculate the sum of the marks, unless you want to calculate the average, whatever. Yeah, this is another one. Same function, calc sum. The good thing, if I press tab, it will find it for me. Now I didn't find it because I didn't put it in a class, but later we'll put it in a class. So I'm passing to it marks. Again, it will do it. Pass anything to it, it will calculate for the total. So this became a function. Usually the function, you don't need to print this result. You need to return the value. So I'll use here, return sum. Why I'm doing this? Return sum. Yeah. If I do it this way, if I run this sum, I'll get. Oh, I still have print here. I don't want this print here. I don't want that print. Let me do it like this. And this return should be there. Yeah. Now let's do it again. Now what I'm doing when I do that, it's just returning to me the value of the sum. Yeah. And I can say return sum multiplied by 100. So I'll get, because become a value, what come from that function become a value. So that's the return. So again, back to the function. You need the word def. You need a name for your function. Come with any name, avoid having space in it, avoid starting by a number, and things like that. Then sometimes this function requires some data to go to that function, to pass to function. And sometimes it doesn't require. So if it requires X, you're passing X now. This case, we need to calculate the sum of data. So we need to pass the data. So we provide the data, then we do some calculation on that data, and then we return the results. Yeah, we return. When the results come back, we can put it in different format. Here, for example, I said calculate a multiple by 100. I could have said print calculate sum of price. Yeah, price, and added before this one. This is the total, and then put quotation comma. Now, if I do this, it will show me a message like this. Yeah. So what this one does, it's a function that you pass. We have seen function in the list. For example, when we use append. Remember when we said price dot append, and we added anything. Append is a function that we use, but it's a built-in function. It's a function already in Python programming. So now if we print price, we had so many 66 in this. So it's added at the end. At the end, let's add one, so we'll have some odd thing. Yeah. So you run it, you see that one there. So this is a function as well. So there's so many functions already in Python which you use it, but you can build your own function. If you notice, there is a code that you keep writing every time. Do it all in one functions, and you will be able to call it. So that can include a for loop, can include other things. So we did now with the for loop, we understand the for loop has a range. The range can be either numbers like what we have here, or the range can be a list that we go through. Like for here, we have a list starting from M and taking all the values, and the list is X, and doing some calculation on it. So the for loop is a very simple loop. Okay, so this is an example. Let's have a look at some others. We have seen this similar example. We have seen this one. It's again range from 2 to 30, but going to the third one because you have 3 here. The default one is it just goes to the next one. We have a question coming to you now. Get ready for that question. So if we have the sum equals 0, and then we have this one, X in range of 1 to 10, what will be the sum at the end of this? If we finish this module today, that will help you so we can focus later on the things that you would like to see, the data analytics. But you know, I can't just skip this one. It's part of the course and has to be covered. It's maybe basic for some of you. Okay, let's see who will get this one now. There's some confusion. I know why the confusion, because those people who are coming from C or Java or JavaScript or PHP or other things, they would expect the 55. Because in that language, if you say for I equal 1 until I less than or even 0 less than or equal 10, it will get you that number. It will include the 10 there. But here it starts from 1 or even from 0, and then it goes to 9. Not taking the 10. The 10 is not part of it. Okay, so that's okay. So it's 45. It's not really 55. Let's see the second question now. Who is there? Ahmed Navas. Good, Ahmed. You made around how many points there? Good, yeah. Questions number 6. Let's see that questions now. This is this. It looks the same, yeah. But the only change is this one 0 instead of 1. What will change? It's a tricky question. It looks very simple question, but tricky. I should not have said that because maybe. Okay. Yes, good. Yeah, 49. Yes, it doesn't make difference because if you say starting from 0 or 1, if you add 0 to anything, it doesn't make difference. So the same result you will get if you start from 1 or you start from 0, because 0 anyway will not add any value. Good, I can see that answer. But some people are still looking at 55. John, yeah, John, you made changed. So plus 96 point. Oh, very good. Okay, good. Now the while loop, yeah, the while loop. Now we see in the for. The for has a limited number of iterations. How many times it will repeat and repeat, because you start from 1 to something or limited to the length of that list. But the while has no limit. Its limit is the condition. If the condition is met or the condition is not met. Now I see some question here. Maybe I'll take small break on this. How to get to the Abu Dhabi University certificate, complete the IBM badges and attend those sessions. We'll get you the certificate and you will be able to download it from the system. If you want to use, yes, you can use buttons in Python and many other things, but this is now meant for the data analytics, the basics of data science, which you deal with data. But later, if you want to create an application of that, you can do. You can even create a web page if you want to create a web page. There are tools there help you with Python to do that. Can we have the URL for the course page on Abu Dhabi portal? Yes, here is it. Here it is. Put it in the chat. It's in the chat. Yeah, you can see it now in the chat. Good. I have questions about review question. If we don't mind, please unmute me whenever is possible. I think I did, and you asked that question there. It is showing error for me when I execute the function. I'm sure there's something wrong you did there. Maybe copy the code and put it here. Then I can see what error it's showing you and what that error. But there's so many errors you can get in. I'll give you just example of some mistakes that I could have done. If I forget this column, yeah, I get, see, syntax, looking for a colon here. The colon is a must. Yeah. If I put return outside, it's not going to return anything because it's outside that function. It will return when I run the cell, but later it will not return anything. Many things I could have done. I forget this colon here, there, or I didn't use n, I used 2. Some people think it will take 2. No, it requires n. Okay. So many things. If I create this function this way, call sum, yeah, and I came here and I call it with s lowercase, of course it will generate an error. It will tell me I don't know what is this call sum, because it's created as call sum with s uppercase. Again, it's a case sensitive, so you have to be aware of that one. If I create it and add a space in the name, then again I'll get an error. So many type of errors you can get. They are logical because they are around the structure of the code and the logic of the code. The structure requires that you have colon. You indent all the code related to the function there. And notice even this sum, when I had sum, I indented sum. It's not like this because sum is part of the for, has to go that way. If I keep it here, it will be part of the function, but it's not part of the for. It has to be like that. So structuring your code, like when you write a document and you create it, you structure it with these spaces and everything to make it readable, and people can understand how it works. And always good, you document your code. You can add here, calculates the sum of a list. Yeah, you can add something like that. Just make sure it's documented. Okay. So there are many errors you could have been through, but that's no problem. Can you please explain more about the return command? Yes, I'll do one more because the return is important. The return, basically what it says, after you complete the function process, you need to send back to the caller the one who called that function, some data. Yeah. So if I say to you, do me something and give me the report. So you need to return the report to me after you finish the work. Yeah, and that's like that. But if I say to you, call XYZ and speak to him and finish that, you can go and call the person and finish everything, and that's it. But here we need the data to come back. So return means the one who did call, send him back the results. So when I call this function here, calculate sum, what it does, it goes to the function, do everything, and then take the sum and send it back. So when I run it, I can see the total of the sum came back, returned back to me. So the function does some process and return the result of that process back to the caller. The number of functions, the function who take nothing and return nothing, just does some process. There's a function that take data and return nothing. Yeah, there's a function that take data and return something. Yeah, so this is a different type. If you are in Java or in C, you need to declare what is the data type that the function will return back. Python is flexible on that. So you don't need, usually you will have here int or float or an object or a class or whatever it is needed, but here it's very flexible. So you have diff, you write the function, you put a parameter that it requires, then colon, and then you write the code inside. At the end, you have return. If you don't need the return, maybe that function does some calculation. I need to explain something here because you gave me really a good idea here. And let me show you something called the scope of the variables. If you look at this one, sum 0, yeah, sum equals 0. This sum, where did we use it for the first time? We used it for the first time inside the function. So this sum is known only inside that function. But the challenge, we have a very complicated situation here because we used sum somewhere before. Let me come with a new thing and let me change this one to call total. Yeah, total. Yeah, now I'm doing total and saying total. See that last time I was doing, this is another way you can do the total. Yeah, this is actually is total equal total plus m. That's another way you can do it. And I will return here total. This is good, yeah? Let me do this and run that one. If I come anywhere, and I'll delete those cells here, I don't need one. If I come here and say total, what do you think I'll get? I'll get an error, yeah? It doesn't know total. Python or Juniper notebook doesn't know total. Why? Because total is declared inside the function. Inside the function, yeah? So it has a scope. It operates only inside that function. If, like, for example, you have a process in your company and it's only for your company, no other company can take that one because it's only for your company or certainty. But if you make it global, I take it outside the function. I take it from here, total, come and put it up before the function. It's not in the function, it's outside the function. And run this one. Now, if I come anywhere and ask for total, I'll get the value, it's 0. See? Because total is now outside. The scope of total is global. Global is not international, global within my development environment, with my code, within my library. And that's how it works, yeah? So now I'll show you how this is useful. If I say calculate sum, yeah, and I pass price to it, I will get what? There's something wrong with my code. Total equal total plus total. Something. Did I run this one? Did I run this one? Local variable reference between, yeah, because I declared it before like local, and it got stuck into that one. I should have tried something else, not this one, but now it should be working. But anyway, when you declare a variable inside the function, it stays inside the function. Now I need to make it, there's one command called global. Yeah, global, it will convert a local variable to a global variable, but I need to do it because I already declared this variable. It's just confusing. I should have tried that one before, but you understand, I think, what I'm saying. If you declare a variable inside, it will be understood only inside. But if you want to declare it outside, you declare it outside, and it can be used inside and outside. Yeah, okay, that's done. What else we have here? Let's see, that's the explanation. And if else, what does it exactly means? The code else if. Yeah, good question. The else if is another condition. Let me try something that maybe you are familiar with. Let's say we have student marks, yeah, I'll call it again marks equal 90, and we need to create a condition. If student mark, if marks is more than 90, yeah, in that case, the student grade, we'll add here something called grade equal something like that. So the student grade will be equal to A. This is an A grade, yeah? Else F, what does it mean, else F? I mean, if his grade is not really more than 90, if marks is more than 80, yeah, mark more than 80, and marks is less than 90. Let's say this is equal 90 as well. Now, this is a case of a student who scored between 80 and 90, more than 80 and less than 90, yeah, more than or equal. Let's make it here. Then his grade will be what? Assume his grade will be B, depends on that university. Then I can have another else F. And let me just now copy this one. Okay. Else F. Now, if his grade is more than 70 and less than 80, then his grade or her grade will be C. I'm just using those. Now, did you get it now? It's another condition related to the previous one. If the previous one is not met, then you check the other condition. And we'll go ahead, okay? More than or equal 60 to 70 is D, yeah? This will be D. Did I miss anyone? Okay, else. Now I finished all my options. This guy did not do anything. So his grade or her grade will be, unfortunately, F. Now I can say print, yeah, grade. Okay, so I have done something. Name grade is not defined. What is this? I'm doing something stupid here. I defined grade already. Print grade, oh yeah, grade, yeah, grade, yeah, grade. Yeah. So now this student, because he's 90, then I'll give put it 80. This is an ideal for a function, yeah? So what I can create, I can create a function, div get grade. So this function will take a mark, yeah, and get me the grade. So what I need, I can push all these things Okay. And now this function is very useful because I can just use it to get the grade. So I can use the function get grade and send to it any value. Yeah, send to it 77. I will get B. 77 is B because it is between, what is it? 77 is B. Why 77? If marks is more than, if marks is more than 80, more than 80, if grade mark is more than 80 and mark is less than 90, it should be C. Yeah, 77 it should be C. I think someone is telling me that I can do something else, but I did 60. I'm getting always B because this one is taking something on all the range. Marks. You see, marks, I should use mark only. I'm taking a variable here called marks and I'm using mark, yeah? This is the mistake here. This is a logical error, yeah? See now, this is a stupid error I did. Now it should work fine. If I put 77, it should work fine. Now I'll show you what was my mistake. Here I used mark. Yeah, it should be marks because the rest are using marks. So look at it now. If I pass 77, it will come here to the function with mark 77. It will check this one. This one is not true. So it will skip this line and go to this one. Is mark between 80 and 90? No. So it will skip this one. Now it will come here, 77, which the marks is between the two, so it will display the C. And this is, it will continue this way. Yeah, and you notice I put grades outside and make it global. So I can access it anywhere. And this one doing for me, this is a nice function and the teacher can use, they can just send to this one. Now, good thing you can use it. You have a spreadsheet, has all the data. You can apply this function to the spreadsheet and automatically it will calculate for you the grade. You don't need to apply it every time. You just read the whole spreadsheet. It goes through that one and do calculation and get you a new spreadsheet with student marks and grades. And we'll do this one later when we come to this. Is this else if now clear? It seems to me clear. Okay, okay, so should we continue? There's some good questions here. There are 17 questions as well. How do we get Abu Dhabi universities to get answered? Okay, let's continue. And then we'll maybe come back to these questions. So the while loop, we said the for loop has a limited iterations based on the list and on the thing like that. The while loop iterate things based on the condition. Sorry, see here, I is equal 1, while I is less than 7, keep looping. As soon as I become equal to 6, then stop looping. So the loop, which these two steps here, will continue be operating while I is less than 6. So how it's working this one? Started by I is 1, I is less than 6. Now print I, it will print 1. Now it will increase I by 1. This is the new notation. And then it will go back to the loop. Now it will check the loop. Is I now less than 6? Yes, it is. Then continue. Continue your loop. Then it will print the I. It will continue as soon as I become not less than 6, equal or more. Equal is what will stop this one. It will stop the loop. So this loop is good if you don't know how many times you need to repeat. You need to repeat based on a condition. While that condition is true, continue your loop. Yeah, good. Now, here is example similar to that, but has something called break, which I want you to know. The one challenge with the while loop, sometimes you will get yourself in infinitive loop. You keep looping, and then your computer will crash because you keep looping with no end. The condition is not met, is never been false. It's always true. So that's dangerous. So the break is sometimes useful, or when certain something happens. This example here, I equal 1. So repeat while I less than 6. Now it will print I. Now it will check if I is became 3, then it will break. Now in this case, I is still 1, so it will not break. So it will go increase I by 1 and go back and then print, check. There's no break, goes back, check. Now find it's 3, stop. Break means stop this loop. Stop it before its end. So you force it to stop. And break is sometimes useful when you do certain things, like you play a game and you hit the enemy or your life is expired, then you stop playing that game and you go to the main menu or something like that. Yeah, okay. So this is another example. There's something called continue. Continue allow you to skip a step. Yeah, so this one, I became 0 or start 0, then it's less than 6, it will increase I, it will check now, is I equal 3? It's not equal 3, so it will print 1. Then it will go back, I will become 2, check, it's not equal 3, it will print 1. Now it will find I became 3. Now it will skip this print and go back and increase I by 1. Now I became 4, it will print 4. Yeah, so it's skipping the situation when I is 3, but continue the loop. Yeah, they could have called it skip, but it's a continue here. Okay, we done that. We have spoke about the functions, and this is again the functions, back to the function. I think you're now getting to know those functions very well, hopefully, and we can practice more those functions because we'll be using all those fundamentals in the coming module. So this is a function. We start by the word def. We give it a name. The name has no space. If you want to use 2 words, do underscore. Usually as a naming convention, the function start by a lowercase. And then if you have 2 words, you start the first word with lowercase, the second word uppercase. You notice how I did calculate sum? That's a naming convention. Why you need it? Because the other programmers will expect the name of your functions if you follow that. So they don't need to be worried about your function. So this one is passing a food, which expecting the food is a list. And then you go for X for the loop from X to F, then you repeat things, which we're familiar with it. So this is the list. We're passing to the list fruit. So fruit goes there, which this long list, it goes there and be printed 1 by 1. Okay, now we're getting to a game, hopefully, yeah. John is still leading. We have Osama, we have Ahmad, Nardine, Malak, Dave, and many others who are doing very well. Let's see. We have a question now. 2 more questions. This question and 1 more, and then we will get into the rest. Here is one for a function. So this function is called add, and it takes a parameter called b and return the total of the 2 numbers. So we're passing to a 10, and then we want, what are we going to get? Quick one, because it should be easy one. And those who were quick, they were able to do, and they scored 61. Very good, thank you for that. I know it was very quick one, because it's simple one, yeah? Large number. Now, those who people thought of 10, they didn't think that inside the function there is add. So we passed 10 and there is 9 there. So 9 added to the 10, so it became 19. Okay, John, still holding, good. Now this is the last one. I'm not sure if I need to do it today or just we do it next time. It will take a little bit more time. So let's just take you just introduction to it. Then we'll go back to it next time before we move into the data analytics. So a class, I'll explain it anyway. What is a class? When you say a class of group of similar object. Yeah, say human class, cars, huge number of cars with different brand, with different model, but they are all cars. Yeah, if I speak about a human being and I'm talking about a specific person, yeah, I'm talking about myself, say Hamad Udabi. Now I'm talking a person that has a name, specific name, has a specific maybe ID, has a specific job or whatever. He has specific details. These details, we call it in object-oriented attributes, or sometimes they call it fields. So a class is a collection of similar objects that share the same attributes, but those attributes can be different. So I have a name, someone else has a name, but his name is different from my name, but still it's attribute, the same attribute, it's a name. I have a height, he has a different height. I have a weight, he has a different weight, but we all share the same attributes. So we all have height, have a name, have age, yeah? But the values of ours are different. So we are within the same class of human being class. But if I speak about specific person, then I'll have an object in this case. I know it's a human being, you should not call him object, but from programming side, it's an object really, which has specific values for that attribute. Yeah, which goes to everything. Student, I have a class called student. I have so many students in year 1, year 2, year 3, a student performing well, student having some difficulties, a student who's studying engineering, students, so many students, but they share the same attribute. They will have a name, they will have a program they are connected to, they have a list of courses they register in, they have a GPA. Those are the same attribute. Yeah, this is a class, an object, if you want to understand it that way. Let me show you this example, and these are the things here. Again, Python is an object-oriented programming language, which has similar use of object. And you notice when we dealt with list, we said list one, append. List is a class, and list one is an object of that class. And then append is a method that belongs to that class. I did list to you all the different method list has, because list is a class and it has a list of object list of methods. The methods are what that class can do. So the list can accept adding new data. List can remove data. List can sort data. List can reverse data. These are all functions or methods. Same, yeah? So the class has a list of functions. Functions and methods are the same, exactly the same. So a class can have a list of functions or methods. Let's say functions now, because you have seen the functions. It has a functions and it has attributes. These are the two things will make a class in any programming language. In others, they have little bit slightly different additional thing. But the attributes and the functions that the class has. And once you have a class, you can create an object of it. So I have a class list From list, I created list 1. And I gave it specific values or data. So now list 1 is an object of class. It can use all the functions the class has. Yeah, so we can use append, you can use all those different things. So this is object oriented or whatever we call it. It has more than that one. It has inheritance and has so many other things which we don't care about it now, because we're not going to create an object oriented, but we need to create some classes object maybe. So this is an example of a class. So I have a class called a person. Anyone can be a person. So that's a class of group, many people there. A class in Python or any language should have functions. One function is special. It's different from any other functions. You see, we created the function that create the grade, we create the function calculate the sum, but the function that the class should has is important. We call it constructor. Constructor means it create the object of that class. And this one has this definition. This is similar to this. So you call it def again. You have 2 underscores, and then you have the word in it. In it has to be like that. And then 2 underscore, and then bracket self. From here, from this comma, and from the beginning until this comma, every class in Python, when you create it, you must have this. Now, the class, I said, have attributes. So this class person has 2 attributes, one called name, one called age. You can add to it as much as you want. So name is an attribute, age is an attribute. The constructor should include those attributes. So the def underscore init underscore slash self comma, then you add the attribute. There are 2 here, you add 2 here. There are 3, you add 3, as much as you want. Okay, then we're still within the constructor function. The constructor function should start if each line that deal with the attribute with self. Self belongs to itself. So we're saying self name equal name, self age equal age. Okay, so these are always, self is always there when you deal with the attribute. So self dot name, so name. Very good. Now here, until here, we created the class. So we created a class called person. We created a constructor function for it called init. And we passed to it 2 parameters, name and age. And these 2 parameters are assigned to the attributes, name and age. So the class now created in the memory. I can see some people are a little bit maybe getting it too much, but I will make it clear again, and we'll repeat that one. So we created a class now, like the function. You create something, maybe you do not use it straightforward, you will use it later. As I said, in your company, you created a certain process, you put the process there, you document it, and you do not run it until there is a need to run it. Yeah. So we created the class. Now we want to create an object of that class. So we came here and we created something called P1. P1 is a person, specific person, has the name John and has the age 36. So how we create him? We can put a variable here, equal, and then we use the name of the class. The class here is person. And then we'll pass to it John, and we'll pass 36. Now this data, where it will go back to the class. It will assign name to name and age to age. And now we have an object called P1. And P1 is a specific person. His name is John and his age is 36. Anytime we come and print P1.name, we will get John. Anytime we come and print age, P1.age, we'll get 36. So this way we are using it as an object. So that's object oriented in Python in a nutshell. Now this is your final question. Get ready for it. So we'll see who will win today, and then maybe we have only 5 minutes. We will do a revision next time because those things are important. But you are ready. The only thing we're missing from this unit is the exceptions handling, which I want you to read it yourself because it's, I think, simple thing to do, but we can review it next time. This one I gave you 3 minutes. Oh God. Okay, so I have a class called student. We have a constructor for it called init there, and we're passing name and age. So we just giving a student a name and age, and then we have a function inside that constructor called increase age, and that one take a new age and increase the previous age. So what will be the outcome of this one? Take time to look at it, and we will see how it will do. I can say many of you will get it right. You have enough time to try this one. Now, people who will ask me how to join, sorry, I will show you how to join. This is the QR code that you need to scan, so you will be part of this one. I need your opinion on this tool we're using, this AHA slide. Is it really helping you? Is it useful? I'll send you some later, some feedback to ask you for that. Where are we? Okay, while you do that, I will be looking at those people who put some questions on Zoom chat. I didn't look at the chat. Sorry for that. If you have so many things in the chat. Yes, it is very useful. Thank you for Adolf, and thank you everyone. Yeah, let me know in the chat if you think this tool is useful. The idea behind it, I want you to, we have a large group, we have 250 people, and sometimes it goes to 300. I want you to feel you are connected, you're part of the session, and still feeling that feeling. And this is why I'm getting into these tools. There are many similar other tools to this one. Yes, you can access the lab after, and you will continue having access to this course forever. I'm looking at the questions. You are right. Okay, good. I have 94 gave the right answers, which really good. Only few who went to 25. Yeah, you notice that we have a function called increase something. Did I? Good. Let's see now who is taking the lead. John, today you did excellent because you continue achieving that. And I can see Ahmad, you are doing great. Nardin doing great. Dave, all of you doing. The difference is not huge. Yeah, there's 31 points between this here to here. But John, you did excellent. Yeah, I know some people joined late because you came late into the system, but I hope you find it useful. That's all for today. So thank you for that. We will stop here because I know you are tired of 2 hours continuous on this one. But I hope you're finding this useful. We will add the video. Again, if you go to our community portal, you will find the video hopefully tomorrow. It will be added there. If you register in our community portal, as soon as I add the video, you will get a message. And also I will link those slides. If you go there, you'll find the same slide with your input and others' input will be here that you can go through it yourself later. Yeah. Good. So have a good time. See you tomorrow, please. And then we will continue. All the best.